Ready to make a real impact every day? Join the Active Day Home Care team and help clients maintain their independence in the comfort of their own homes. Make a difference in someone's life as you provide essential daily assistance and protect their health and happiness. Earn up to $20 an hour and enjoy additional perks like optional daily pay, 401k, paid time off, ongoing educational training, and more. Join a team that values care, compassion, and your professional growth. Visit activeday.com to apply.
It is time to leave your worries outside and laugh with us inside the Treehouse. I'm Dan O'Malley, along with Trey Trenholm today, Thursday, March 6th, 2025. Hello, Trey.
Hello, Daniel.
The thing we're going to start with today, I contemplated saving it for the end of the show because in previous times, we would usually find something really good and save it for the end of the show. But times have changed. Now the smart thing is to do that really good thing first, right?
How previous are we talking? Because there was a previous iteration where you could give someone something good and they couldn't keep it until the 4 o'clock hour.
We've learned a lot over the years. A whole lot.
Yeah.
Some of those lessons that we've learned were public. Some of those lessons that we've learned, we've kept behind the curtain. They just maintain some mystery. But to sort of answer the question you're posing, we would hide things.
Right.
Or say we were still working on them.
Right.
Therefore, staving off the premature execution of said bit. We, however, this iteration, the Treehouse show, is pretty good at discipline.
Yeah, as I said, we have a lot more discipline.
A lot more. You know how I know you and I have a lot more discipline than others?
Because we're here every day.
We're alive. That's part of it. Being alive helps.
Yeah. This one
had
a drink in almost 9 years.
Planet. Yeah, in my 45 years on this planet, I've learned that being alive is beneficial.
Mm-hmm.
Being on time is also nice. Being nice is nice. Anyway, I could go on. The point is, instead of saving this tidbit for the end of the show, I want to start the show off on the right foot. All right?
Okay.
So I recently learned some new information that I want to share with you now. Did you know that thanks to their very fibrous diet, gorillas fart almost nonstop?
I did not know that.
Mm-hmm. Gorillas fart almost nonstop thanks to their fibrous diet. You remember the movie Gorillas in the Mist?
Yes.
Now I think we know what that mist is.
Story of Jane Goodall.
Yeah. Doesn't that make Jane Goodall's work all the more impressive? and I'm pretty sure I saw that movie. I mean, it's an old movie, Gorillas in the Mist. I'm pretty sure I saw it as a kid. I feel like now I should rewatch it with fresh eyes. Now that I know this information that I don't think was in that film. But yeah, I mean, it makes sense.
It does. But they eat a lot of fruit and things. Maybe it's not that stinky. I don't know.
But according to the information I have recently discovered, gorillas, magnificent herbivores, are renowned for their impressive size and social complexity. But alongside their grandeur comes a less dignified trait, near constant flatulence. Their diet, rich in fibrous leaves, stems, and bamboo, fuels a robust digestive process. Gut bacteria work tirelessly to break down this tough material, generating copious amounts of gas as a byproduct. This natural process results in frequent and audible emissions, a common occurrence in gorilla habitats, which sheds even newer light and fresh perspective on gorillas, especially the ones that are in captivity, because then they're basically just hotboxing themselves all the time. Can you imagine if at the zoo, the clear walls that you can visually interact with the gorillas, can you imagine if they had tiny holes to where you could breathe in? Oh, woo! Be as much just bodies piled in front of the gorilla exhibit.
No, I think about is the videos of when you see gorillas upright walking on 2 feet, and you just feel like they're running towards the bathroom with a this constant sound effect going. Oh, am I gonna make it? Am I gonna make it? Am I gonna make it? What do they care? It's like
They shouldn't.
they fling it.
Yeah, they don't have the social hangups that we do.
Yeah.
They just walk and rip. I will say though, I've never thought about that as, gorillas duck walking around.
Some might be shy. Have some sort of performance anxiety. Have to go behind the tree.
Yeah, I can imagine having an entire school field trip staring at you. Might make you a little self-conscious when you need to go number 2 in the habitat.
Wonder if Coco ever, signed "Pull My Finger."
See, now all this gorilla research we've grown up with over the decades really has this new, I don't want to call it fresh perspective because it's probably going to smell kind of bad.
You're listening to the Treehouse. Visit us online at treehouseonair.com.
Let's get Daniel Cook from Cook DFW Roofing and Restoration into the Treehouse. Their number for your free roof inspection, 833-COOK-DFW, the website cookdfw.com. The RMS Treehouse Listeners Foundation exists to help the families of fallen DFW police officers and firefighters killed in the line of duty. And we've been very fortunate over the years to partner with some outstanding companies wanting to help. And today we get to add Cook DFW's name to that list of excellent sponsors to the foundation because, Daniel, you and your wife, Carrie, have said, you know what? We love our community and we want to do something to give back to our first responders in DFW, right?
Dan, that's absolutely correct. And, truth be known, Carrie has given to the foundation for quite so many years. But now at a company level, I think we are wanting to definitely, beef that up and start giving back to the foundation. And it's unfortunately, this is a foundation nobody wants to have to donate to, but it's the real world is that these things do happen. And it's the type of foundation that you don't want around, but you definitely want it to be, available to the families that need it. And so over the next couple of months, a portion of all the proceeds from the work done from Treehouse listeners that call in and let us know that they heard about you on the show, we're going to be donating to the RMS Treehouse Listeners Foundation and making sure that we can keep that very stable in the accounting side and have funds available that when the families need it, it's going to be there. So we're very fortunate to be a part of the organization, and we look forward to trying to assist and help as much as we can.
Not only a company that cares about you as a client, but Cook DFW Roofing and Restoration also cares about its first responders in our communities. So give them a call for your roofing and restoration needs. 833-COOK-DFW. 833-COOK-DFW. Make sure you tell them you heard about him in the Treehouse and the website, cookdfw.com.
Ready to make a real impact every day? Join the Active Day Home Care team and help clients maintain their independence in the comfort of their own homes. Make a difference in someone's life as you provide essential daily assistance and protect their health and happiness. Earn up to $20 an hour and enjoy additional perks like optional daily pay, 401k, paid time off, ongoing educational training, and more. Join a team that values care, compassion, and your professional growth. Visit activeday.com to apply.
You're in the Treehouse. Visit us online at treehouseonair.com.
This segment of the Treehouse is brought to you by Cook DFW Roofing and Restoration. To get your free roof inspection, call 833-COOK-DFW. And based on the storms that hit North Texas recently, be a good idea to give them a call, and do that today. 833-COOK-DFW. That way you can check to see if there's any damage that you may not be able to see, or even if to give you peace of mind to know for sure that your roof is fine before the next storm. Give Daniel a call today, 833-COOK-DFW, or the website cookdfw.com.
That was the craziest weather. Like, I've never, in 50 years of basically being in Dallas my whole life, for 36 hours, that was the windiest I had ever been.
Yeah, I believe it was. I saw a graphic, I think it was from Fox 4, that I think it was gusts up to hurricane force winds, which I think has happened recently in a storm as well. But
like
that
was during the storm. But, especially for like 12 hours after the storm, we were getting gust up, 50, 55 miles an hour, and it was sunny. Or,
I'm with you. That right there was amazing to me, how, because the hurricane force winds that I remember before were part of a storm, and this stuff was just effing wind.
Yeah.
And then apparently it brought in all this West Texas dust.
Oh yeah.
And I even saw that. Now that was definitely on Fox 4, and I think I even commented on their thing on Instagram or Threads or whatever, saying like Fort Worth looks like Tatooine right now.
Mm-hmm.
So give Cook DFW a call. Have your roof and your property checked out. 833-COOK-DFW, or the website cookdfw.com. I'm Dan O'Malley, along with Trey Trenholm, inside the Treehouse today, March 6th, 2025. All right, pay attention here. With this news, the Dallas Mavericks' quest to become the dumbest franchise in North Texas might be complete. On the heels of a trade that sent fan favorite Luka Doncic to the Lakers in exchange for a hospital patient, the Dallas Mavericks are raising ticket prices. Morons. Abject morons. And you know what's great about this is if you try to imagine the moronic face of the individual that would have these cockamamie ideas that they think is going to lead to growth for the Mavericks. It's the face of the guy that's actually doing it.
I mean, I don't know how you can be shocked by this. The Metroplex leader hasn't even been to a championship game in 30 years. And they, have gotten a new stadium and are the most valuable franchise in the world. The Mavs are on the precipice of getting a whole new stadium built for themselves.
I am used to idiocy coming out of the Dallas Cowboys. I'm not used to the nonsense coming out of the Mavericks. But as soon as Mark Cuban sold his controlling interest to the Adelsons and put, let me get my beep ready, and put this moron in charge, Patrick Dumont, the franchise has taken a huge, and that's saying something, because there's logic around the AAC, and most of it until now wasn't Mavs related. It was just from homeless and drunkenness.
Listen,
but seriously, Patrick Dumont, look at that guy right there. That's the face of the Mavericks now. Looks exactly like the moron that would ruin anything he got his gap tooth around. And that's exactly what he's done. Good job.
He looks like a grown-up guy of Oh, what was the mad? Oh gosh, I'll think of this cartoon character in a second. But he looks like the grown-up adult, the human version of it.
To me, Patrick Dumont looks like, and I know that they say that, the 21st century and all the political correctness that goes around these days, you're not supposed to, disparage people's looks. But when you're mad at them, I say go for it. So to me, Patrick Dumont, who is the governor of basketball of the Dallas Mavericks,
all right,
looks to me. Now, hang on. Okay, now, okay. Yeah. I'm brain farting on his name. The kid that's always on the cover of Mad Magazine.
Alfred E. Newman.
Alfred E. Newman, yes. That's pretty good. Patrick Dumont looks a lot like Alfred E. Newman from Mad Magazine. To me, he also looks like Michael Strahan and the kid from Problem Child had a butt baby. That guy right there is the one that gets to wear the face of idiocracy in controlling the Mavs and its future. So in this guy's infinite wisdom, after trading away fan favorite Luka Doncic, which, by the way, let's be honest, was a crap trade, even if you were for sending Luka away because maybe you think he is out of shape and maybe he did stink in the finals last year. Forget that. It is a bad trade on paper, and it's a bad trade in real life. And as if that wasn't bad enough, everything that has happened subsequently since the trade has been awful decision after awful decision. So why not raise ticket prices against the people that you clearly hate, which is your fans?
First of all,
okay,
and maybe this is my age showing, but the Mavericks as a whole have always been a mediocre franchise. We got to see him win a championship. I'm good. But I remember the fan outrage when we traded Steve Nash. How could we do that? Break up Dirk and Steve. Anything else? Even the fan outrage when we traded Jason Terry. So I still, from a business point, I understand the 100, them being skeptical of the extra 100, I think Luka his max deal was like $350 million, where with the Lakers, it's like 240, something like that. And yes, it probably is going to end up being a bad deal. But right now with Luka, Luka's got a spur up his ass because he feels he's pissed off about being traded. Mm-hmm. Let's see how he comes in next year. Is he going to be in shape or whatnot? I think you do have to give these things some time to actually gain perspective. But you're probably right. It really was a bad trade.
Let's take a step back and remove emotion from the discussion. All right.
But okay.
Just briefly.
Okay.
Do you think, Trey, that in light of everything that has transpired with the Mavs organization, do you think it is a good idea and a good time to raise ticket prices?
I wouldn't announce it.
Aha! That makes sense.
You're listening to the Treehouse. Visit us online at treehouseonair.com. You're listening to the Treehouse. Visit us online at treehouseonair.com.
It is time to advertise inside the Treehouse. Sponsorship opportunities are available. If you are interested, just shoot us an email. treehouseonair@gmail.com. That's treehouseonair@gmail.com to advertise right here inside the Treehouse. I'm Dan O'Malley, along with Trey Trenholm today, March 6th, 2025. In a story that is sure to make Trey smile, here we go. An Ohio foot spa was shut down by authorities just 1 week after opening. I'm not even sure if this foot spa had a chance to solicit actual customers. It's almost like the police were out front banging on the glass like the Mervin's lady. And this is after, I think it was last week, we talked about a Asian massage place in New Jersey that had been busted for prostitution, on prostitution allegations. Before that, a couple of months ago, we talked about a North Texas police department that is going through a thing right now because some of their officers did a little too much things.
Yeah, they got too many people involved in the investigation
of a massage parlor
Uh-huh.
that was reportedly doing things more than
I mean, they
massaging.
they were thorough.
Extremely thorough. Guys, look. Give the place a chance to do illegal things to the public before it. This really just sounds like as soon as the local police department, where was this? Ohio. Let me see if I can find a city for you. Canfield, Ohio. In Canfield, Ohio, a foot spa was closed by authorities just 1 week after it opened. 36-year-old Shanseng Zhang was taken into custody after the Harmony Foot Spa in Canfield, Ohio, was raided by police. Hang on. Asking me for a newsletter sign up. Was raided by police and the Human Trafficking Task Force. Police told reporters that the woman solicited an undercover agent offering sex in exchange for money. She was arrested and charged with promoting prostitution, soliciting, possessing criminal tools. The hell is that? The hell were they using to jerk people? Never mind. But I mean, within a week of them opening, it's almost like the Canfield Police Department and this task force had alerts set for the next Asian massage parlor to open up because they just couldn't wait to get in there to put on the sting.
They clearly were at the grand opening waiting.
I'm not even sure if they had time to turn on the inflatable wiggly guy. Police were already out front going, "Let me in. I've got a punch card already."
Yeah. It's been so long since we shut down the last one.
Yeah. They won't honor my I got 10 on here.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, if you're an undercover police officer and you're wanting to bust illegal activity at these massage parlors, don't have everyone else busting as well, because then that might actually bust your case. Yes, I've said bust many times in this story, but I think it's pertinent.
There has to be a line. The sex trafficking, absolutely. Bust it, get rid of them, lock them up. It's horrible, everything else. But if everyone's above 18, it's just there's bigger problems in this world.
Yeah. I mean, if everyone's
above 18 and they're by choice, not by, then just,
if it's all consensual and you want the rub and tug, fine. Then, like everything else that we think should be illegal, let's tax it and regulate it a little bit, so that way you don't get rogue rub and tugs or something. At least this way you can take some of that money and do something good with it.
Yeah.
And also it'll free up manpower on the police side to do other things instead of constantly investigating undercover all these Asian massage parlors.
They may not want that.
They may not want it, and I don't blame them. It's a tough job. It needs some release.
You're listening to The Treehouse. Visit us online at treehouseonair.com.
You're in the Treehouse. Visit us online at treehouseonair.com.
Did you know you can get even more Treehouse? It's true. Subscribe to Treehouse Plus. With Treehouse Plus, you get bonus content, subscriber-only episodes, including video. Yeah, you can watch us. It's all available at patreon.com/treehouseonair. Patreon. Patreon.com/treehouseonair. That's to subscribe to Treehouse Plus. I'm Dan O'Malley, along with Trey Trenholm, inside the Treehouse today. There's something very terrifying that I saw recently, and since I had to see it, I'm, obviously going to make you look at it as well. Trey, have you ever seen a photo of a pork tapeworm up close?
A pork tapeworm? No, I don't believe I have.
Okay. Well, someone took a photo of a pork tapeworm face up close, and I am going to show it to you. Okay. Here we go. Bam.
Jeez.
Yeah, that right there is the stuff of nightmares. This stunning image provides an up-close view of a pork tapeworm's head, magnified 200 times. The eye-like structures are suckers, which, along with the hook-covered rostellum, enable the tapeworm to anchor itself to the host's intestinal lining. In its adult form, the worm can grow to lengths of 2 to 3 meters in humans. My God, that's disgusting and huge. And obviously not everyone can see this photo. So the best way I can describe it is, Trey, you remember Admiral Akbar from Star Wars?
Uh-huh.
This close-up image of a pork tapeworm, to me, looks like Admiral Akbar from Star Wars on meth.
Yeah, I can't even that, or if anyone saw a picture of that like demon fish that they said was like a once in a lifetime thing that flew up from the depths of the ocean to basically die. That's the only thing I've seen that even compares to this one.
I think that's a pretty good description as well. And that demon fish that came from the depths of the ocean to the surface to die, this is the thing that it saw when it decided, that's it, I'm out.
Yeah.
That's how hideous this creature looks.
I mean, the sucker eye things just look like they're gateways to hell.
Yes, they do. And the teeth are, it's like the teeth, the upper and lower inner lock, just looking absolutely atrocious. It somehow looks like an even more disturbing Sarlacc pit. Again, from Star Wars. Thank you, Star Wars, for providing all the descriptions here. So yeah, the eye-like structures are the suckers. Okay. And they enable the tapeworm to anchor itself to the host's intestinal lining. This photo was actually captured by Teresa Zagoda. The photograph earned 4th place in the 2017 Nikon Small World competition and received a gold award at the Royal Photographic Society's Images of Science competition. This won 4th place. Now, the competition did not center around terrifying imagery, but I'm afraid to look at what 1st, 2nd, and 3rd were if this was 4th.
I mean, I can understand if it just freaked the judges out and they're like, I don't want that on the cover as the winner of whatever.
That's true. That might have scared the judges. This also, by the way, is the same type of tapeworm that was found in the brain of a man who ate undercooked bacon from about a year ago. The American Journal of Case Reports documented an unidentified 52-year-old American man who was experiencing weekly migraines that were unresponsive to medication. Following a CT scan, researchers found numerous fluid-filled sacs in his brain with no mass effects of a possible tumor growing on his brain, buildup of fluids and brain activities and cavities. Researchers were suspicious for other things. After being admitted to the hospital, he tested positive for cystic cirrhosis cyst antibodies, then diagnosed with neurocystic cirrhosis, a preventable parasitic infection caused by larval symptoms from the pork tapeworm, which looks like this guy.
So this is different from trichinosis.
I guess so. But again, this thing can grow up to 2 to 3 meters long. But it really is. I mean, just looking at the face of this really is nightmare fuel.
Ugh. Yeah, and it's funny because they've really taken some of the restrictions off pork and temperatures that you used to be you couldn't order pork anything but well done, and now because of the quality of meats that you can. But I don't think I'm going to if this is a possibility.
Because if your pork is slightly pink, you might be ingesting one of these guys. Though I'm surprised you're not more alarmed at this parasitic tapeworm face up close, Trey, because this looks a lot like the thing that is hidden inside a number of your exes.
You're in the Treehouse. Visit us online at treehouseonair.com.
And if you could photograph their souls.
What's that?
I said if you could photograph their souls.
You're in the Treehouse. Visit us online at treehouseonair.com.
If you miss any part of the Treehouse show, you can catch up with the Treehouse Show podcast, available on all major streaming and podcasting platforms like Spotify, the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, and more. It's the Treehouse Show podcast, available everywhere you get your podcasts. I'm Dan O'Malley, along with Trey Trenholm, inside the Treehouse today. Today is Thursday, March 6, 2025. Let's celebrate with some birthdays. Jacob Bertrand is 25 today. He plays Hawk on the Cobra Kai series. Jacob Bertrand, 25, best known as Hawk on the Cobra Kai series. Trey, I forget, have you seen all of the Cobra Kai episodes?
No.
Or am I thinking of Raj?
That's Raj.
Okay.
I've watched, I think, the first 2 seasons.
Yep. Tara and I watched, I think, the first few seasons, and we checked out soon after the big fight in the school where the one kid kicked the other kid over the railing of the stairs and like broke his back or something. And it wasn't long after that we punched out because we were like, okay, this is kind of ridiculous now. It's like no one's calling the police. These kids are kicking the crap out of each other at school, and this is just kind of insane. And then I think it was not that long ago, they released the trailer for the first half of the final season. And then there was another trailer after that got released of the second half of the final part of the final season. And YouTube thought I needed to see some of this. So the other day it showed, I guess, the big rematch of Terry Silver and Daniel LaRusso in the Cobra Kai series, because they keep bringing back all the old characters, right? And that, of course, was the matchup of Karate Kid 3, the long hair ponytail guy who was just trying to destroy Daniel LaRusso in the third one.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and I watched this 2.5 minute fight scene between old ass Terry Silver and old ass Daniel LaRusso and the actual actors portraying them again. And I realized Cobra Kai is not so much a martial arts epic as it is just a bunch of old actors seeing if they can kick above their hips. I mean, it's kind of sad.
I enjoyed it, like the first season, the nostalgia, everything else, great. Same,
Elizabeth Shue.
Yeah, but at this point, they would have to bring back Pat Morita for me to really become interested in it. Do some Yoda crap.
That would get me. That would get me back to watching Cobra Kai. That without a doubt. Bring back old Pat Morita. But it really was like some of the fight scenes with the old guys, the old actors, and it really is. It's one of these things is not like the other while watching Cobra Kai, because you got the old actors seeing if they can just kick above their hips, if they're flexible enough. And it's slow and deliberate and just very boring fight scenes. Meanwhile, the kids who have only been taking karate in the series for like 2 weeks are doing jump spinning kicks that weren't even in American Ninja. And that was a franchise about ninja. And these are high school kids kicking the crap out of each other very impressively. So it really is, it's like two big ends of the spectrum there as far as old people kicking and young people kicking. And anyway, Jacob Bertrand is 25 today. Other birthdays today. From 13 Reasons Why, Alicia Bowe is 28. Tyler, the Creator, is 34. From Orange is the New Black, Yale Stone is 40. Bubba Sparks is 48. Trey remembers Bubba Sparks.
Love Bubba Sparks.
Love you some Bubba. Let's see. Shaquille O'Neal turns 53 today. Sometimes North Texas resident Shaquille O'Neal, 53 today. Really big on giving back in the community. Will wander into a Walmart and occasionally just buy things for everyone in the Walmart. That's how much money he's got. But if we're being honest, it's not like he can ever do anything under the radar because he's 7'2" and just huge. So
Yeah.
there's no sneaking around for Shaq. If he goes somewhere, it's almost like he has to buy stuff for everybody. Which kind of sucks, because then isn't that the expectation whenever he shows up someplace? And then if you don't get it, you're like, damn. Like, what if you were at Nordstrom Rack and Shaq rolls in? It's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna get some free shoes or the free drink. No. What if he said no that day?
I mean, if we're being honest, normally he does that stuff like at Walmart. And if I see Shaq at Walmart, I'm assuming he's buying for other people and not himself.
That's true. Now, if Shaq shows up to Neiman Marcus.
Yeah.
Of course, then again, if you're at Neiman Marcus hoping Shaq shows up, I think you're going to be there a while.
Yeah.
You're listening to the Treehouse. Visit us online at treehouseonair.com.
You're in the Treehouse. Visit us online at treehouseonair.com.
If you like the Treehouse show, then you will love us on social media. So give us a follow at Treehouse On Air. That's our handle across all the social media platforms, at Treehouse On Air, to give us a follow on social media. I'm Dan, along with Trey, inside the Treehouse today, Thursday, March 6th, 2025. There are occasional stories that bring smiles to our faces. And this is definitely one of those. Okay. So here we go, Trey. I know this is one that's going to make you smile. A mom accused of locking her daughter in a chicken coop was found shot to death.
All right.
Really is a feel-good story, right? The woman and her boyfriend allegedly confined a teen to a chicken coop for months, blindfolded her while forcing her to stand all day and eat only ramen. Police are now asking help in finding her killer, and locals say they aren't helping anyone look for anybody in this case.
Good for them.
Wow. Just when we thought this country was divided, we found a unifying point. 8 days after police in Farmington, New Mexico announced the arrests of Patricia Madrid and Jamie Jackson for child abuse, authorities issued another press release revealing one of them had been shot to death. Now, authorities are seeking the public's help finding a person of interest in the mom's murder, but the public wants no part of it after horrific allegations of abuse were released. The investigation into the mom and the boyfriend began in September of 24 after CPS reached out to the local police department with concerns for a child's welfare. Reports indicated the child had been locked in a chicken coop for extended periods and exposed to extreme weather conditions. The child is described as a 15-year-old girl, was removed from the home, and on February 18th, 2025, the mom and the boyfriend were arrested and charged with 14 felony counts, including child abuse and conspiracy to commit child abuse. According to the Durango Herald, the victim is the daughter of Jackson, who is Madrid's boyfriend. Per the arrest affidavit, the teen was confined to a chicken coop, required to wear earmuffs and a blindfold, while forced to stand from around 5 a.m. to 10 p.m. every day. Only given a package of ramen noodles, withheld water, and allowed to use the bathroom only twice per day. The teen also allegedly told police her father once put a gun against her head and said he didn't mind killing someone, no different than killing an animal. Well, now she's dead, the mom, and all the locals are like, well, we don't know nothing.
And you know what? I hope someone bails him out too. That's one guy, I don't want to make bail.
Yeah. Can you keep me, please? Yeah. On Wednesday, February 26th, 8 days after their arrests, police were called to a residence about a shooting. Officers canvassed the area for a suspect. However, investigators believe the individual left the area prior to police arrival. They released video of the scene showing someone they call a person of interest in her death. Left the area on a bicycle. No arrests have been made. Police say a homicide investigation remains active and ongoing.
And it makes you wonder how active and ongoing that investigation is, other than, hey, Bob, you catch him? No. What about you, Bill? No. My donut? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we can write down worked on case today.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Did everything we could. And not to speak entirely for you, Trey, but as the two of us were abused as children, I'm all right with this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a fitting end.
And on the police Facebook page, they said they were looking for the public's help. Someone even commented, "Don't lock your kids in a chicken coop." Good job, New Mexico.
Yeah.
Well, really well
Excellent.
done. Very proud of you today. All right, that'll do it for us inside the Treehouse today. For all things Treehouse, go to treehouseonair.com and be sure to find and follow us on social media. For the show, it's at, almost said mine. For the show, it's at Treehouse On Air. For me, it's at the Dan O'Malley. And for Trey, it's at Trey Trenholm 1. We'll be back in here tomorrow, which is Friday. The Treehouse. See you later.